If we're being brutally honest, which we should be, and we just were with the team, I think it was men against boys today. I think we looked timid. I think we looked anxious. Yeah, we knew we are going to have to come here and defend, but obviously when you defend, you hope to get the ball at some stage. And I thought we got the ball at strategic moments in the first half, but we gave it away way too easily. And then that just compounds the problem. You just defend and defend and defend. When that happens, eventually they're getting closer and closer to your goal. So yeah, a little bit disappointing from that perspective. A lesson, but with the young group like we have and what we're going to go through, we're going to go through lessons. This will not be the last game that we'll have like this year, but we want to learn from them. We want to grow from it, and we've challenged the players now to reflect. And when we get back to Edmonton, tell us what they've learned from this exercise, because it was a challenge, and we weren't even close to getting anything out of the game today.
There's kind of a slightly different tactical look from you guys with Loughrey coming a little bit more into midfield. Is that kind of the next evolution of the defensive shape you're trying to build here?
We haven't had much time to work on either of the shapes, to be brutally honest. We did work on Cale playing more as a defensive midfielder a little bit during our short preseason, but clearly based on today, not enough. So we don't want to just be one team that plays one formation. We have a philosophy and we stick to our principles. The principles don't change, but we can adjust the formation. So I know we played one formation the first two games. We started in a different formation today. We'll play different formations, but we'll try to stay true to what we're trying to do. Had good moments with it, but we definitely struggled today at times too. Thank you.
Any other questions in the room? Alan, did you start thinking in the second half a little bit about midweek? I know you didn't want to forget today's game, but at that point, it is a bit of a quick turnaround for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. This is a killer week that we're about to go on. Obviously, flying here to Ontario, now flying back home tomorrow, and then playing Pacific on Wednesday, and then flying to the Maritimes. Thanks, Mrs. Schedule. Yeah, 100%. 60th odd minute was definitely thinking about moving on to the next game. Wanted to get more of a response from our group, not meaning get a result, but show some character at the end. Give some players that haven't played much an opportunity to show what they could do. But definitely thinking about Wednesday already. Probably that's the third one we're in. Definitely thinking about it. That's for sure.
Just to follow up on Shamit, you can tell us that.
Day to day right now, he's come a long way in the last few days. Got smacked pretty hard in the last game, but we're hoping that it'd be good to go for Wednesday.
Any other questions in there? Okay, we'll move over to the Zoom portion of the call.
There's a lot of hands up there.
Brendan, you could just go ahead with it.
Yeah, first question will go over to Derek.
Alan, how you doing?
I'm okay, Derek. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I guess just want to ask you about, is this game a kind of a good measuring stick? Because obviously Forge is probably the premier franchise in this league. They have been for the first 3 years of it. Does this give you a good sense of where your team is and where you guys have to go, I guess, this season?
I think if we played this game, the first game of the season, I don't think we'd be patting ourselves on the back, but everybody would say this is how it's supposed to be. I think the fact that we got something out of the first two games, people might be surprised by this. So I'm not really surprised, to be brutally honest. Coming and playing in places like this are going to pose big challenges for us. And we have a very young group, and we're going to learn from this. But we're fully aware that we're going to go through moments like this again in the season. It's a long season. It's an opportunity for us to grow as a group, opportunity for the players to embrace these challenges too. So we would have hoped and we would have liked a different outcome, but we're not surprised by it.
A follow-up for me. Obviously, the first half hour looked like you guys were doing what you wanted to do, and then just your thoughts on the penalty that kind of switched, obviously, the momentum of the game.
In the moment, I wasn't sure. I looked at the screen. I thought it probably was a penalty kick. That's my initial thoughts. I think when Mamadi scored, I don't know, was that offside? I didn't think so, but I haven't had a chance to closely look at it. As much as we say moments define matches for players, moments define matches for officials too. There were some interesting moments in the game today.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Dirk.
Next, we'll go to Brandon Q. Go ahead, Brandon.
Thanks, Brendan. Hey, Alan. Just wanted to ask you, following up to that question about the penalty, wondering if you could just spare a couple of words on Andreas Feikla there. Could have, made the save, made the initial save, and then had a couple of good saves throughout the half. I think the one on Kyle Becker, I think, stands out for a lot of people there.
Andres is the granddad of our team. What is he, 25 years old? And obviously a 25-year-old goalkeeper, that's like an 18-year-old outfield player. So he's indicative of our entire group. The guys are going to live, they're going to learn from these experiences. I thought he managed the game relatively well. Very disappointing, obviously, for a goalkeeper to make a great save and then a rebound goes straight to the striker, obviously. So yeah, I thought he did okay. I feel like, honestly, I'd like to go assess the game. I feel like we made a lot of mistakes on the goals. And if you do come to a place like this and you make mistakes, you're going to get punished for it. That's the reality of the business.
Appreciate the comments, Alan, and good luck next week.
Thanks, Brendan.
And next we'll go to CTV Edmonton.
Thanks. Hi, Alan. I just wanted to dive a little deeper into what this week upcoming is going to be like for your club, in terms of logistics and timing and flights. It's obviously not private charters you guys are using. So just give us some insight into what the preparation for the next 2 games will be like.
The league's running our team right now, so we're not in private charters. No. It's going to be hell, to be brutally honest, to fly across Canada and go back west and then play the league champions in midweek and then fly to the Maritimes afterwards. It's going to be very, very difficult, but it is what it is. So we're going to embrace it. We've already spoken to the guys in the locker room right now about starting their regeneration tonight. We'll go home tomorrow, and then Monday won't be your regular 48 hours post game because it's match day -2. So we'll start pushing the guys already on Monday and Tuesday, get ready for Wednesday. We're going to use our full squad. We don't even have a full squad. We don't have that liberty. But every play that we have, we're going to use. We're going to have to rotate at some stage, or we're going to rotate on Wednesday or next Saturday. We'll let you guys know when we get to those games.
Yeah, right from the start, I think we just didn't show up to play, and getting a couple goals scored on us too. We just didn't react well to it like we usually do. But just gotta show up to play next time.
You yourself played a bit of a different role today, pushing a little further up. Just what was kind of the directive on what you had to do today, and how did you feel about that?
Yeah, coming from Forge, I know that they like to get their fullbacks involved in the midfield, so it's kind of just to even it up with extra man in the midfield for us. So.
Any other questions in there? Okay, what was this like for you personally? I know you had some family and friends here, and obviously a big game. What was it like to go out there? And I know the result didn't go your way, but still professionally, it's another milestone for you.
Yeah, it's always different coming from a team that you're on. You want to play good. You obviously want to beat them. But it's nice to be around home. Yeah.
Which to follow up overall, this experience must be. I know it's not easy to lose games like this, but to get significant 90 minutes under your belt consistently every week is what you need right now as a player.
Yeah, I agree. Being young, that's why I think it was good, to come to Edmonton, get a lot of minutes, get used to the league, and obviously excel. So.
We'll move into the Zoom portion now.
We'll start off here on Zoom with Derek. Go ahead, Derek.
Thanks. Hey, Cale, Derek here from the Edmonton Sun. I just want to ask you, I guess, about the mentality this team has to go and play throughout this season. It's a young squad. You guys kind of been thrown together. You're going to face a lot of veteran sides, I guess. How are you guys approaching game in, game out, knowing that there are going to be some tough games?
Yeah, we know we're a young squad. It's always a battle. We like to be the hardest working team out there. We find that that brings us success. But we're all brothers on the field and off the field. It's like a family. We're all pretty young, so we all get along. But it's about the right mentality going into each game. Expecting to win, and if something goes wrong, immediate fix. So yeah.
And on this game here, the first half hour, it looks like you guys were kind of frustrating them. We're kind of playing well defensively, I guess. Did that penalty kind of change the whole dynamic of the game, in your opinion?
We did a lot of chasing throughout the game. It was definitely me going into kind of that 6 role. It's more running. So, I was just kind of going back and forth. It's boring without the ball, as everybody knows. But yeah, they were having a tough time breaking us down. But I think the momentum after that penalty, they went with it, and we kind of didn't bounce back like we usually do.
Yeah, one thing Edmonton has shown in the first couple of games is they get points. They know how to be in games and they know how to make things difficult on their opponents. That's what they did in the first two games. So sometimes these are the toughest ones because perception doesn't translate to what you need to do on the pitch. You need to stick to what you need to do. In the first half, I thought Edmonton was very good. They sat in a very deep block, a little deeper than we thought. We had planned on just based on their last two games. So you needed the moments to get in behind. You needed to be a little bit sharper, and that always makes things a little difficult and open to the counterattack. Those are the vulnerabilities of the game. But credit to the guys, they stuck to what we talked about and needed a lot of patience in this match. And when you're able to get the goals in this game, that opens things up. And I think that's what happened in the second half. We were able to open the lines. We changed our formation a little bit in the second half just to be able to keep a lot better possession, keep our guys a little bit more static in places, and then also watch for the transitions. And I think that helped us a lot. We created a lot of high quality opportunities in the second half. We've only scored one more, but happy all around with the performance.
Bit of a coming up party for Campbell in front of the home fans here. Is that pretty much what you expected when you joined the club? Yeah,
Campbell's going to score a lot of goals here. That's the one thing I am sure of. Whether they come now, they come a little bit later, they come one game at a time. He's the guy in the box. And that's what he does. And he scored a goal in the second half by being in the right place. And, he's put one on a platter for Borges by being in the right place and making those right runs, those vertical runs in the box that are very important for us with all of the ball movement we have. So I'm happy for him because obviously for a striker, you want to have that success and feel the back of the net, and that keeps the momentum going forward.
Go ahead, Greg. I just want to ask about some of kind of the little tactical tweaks you made during the match, right? You start with Alex playing in midfield and comes into the three in the second half. And I think there's a point in the first half where Tristan and David swapped sides shortly before he scored. Yeah. What did you kind of see in the flow of the game then?
Yeah, a couple of things we did in the first half. We switched those two guys on the wings just to get them inverted into the half spaces and moving inside on their favorite foot. Just to give a different look to things and try and see if we can get those incisive passes through the lanes. And then we also changed Methuselah and Samuel at the center back position just a little bit for ball movement. We saw a little bit that they were hitting us on the counter on the left side. Just providing a little bit more support to the left side with Dom and having Garvin on the ball a little bit more on the right side. So those are things we need to pick up on, and the players also need to pick up on in the game. And then in the second half, like I just said earlier, we changed things where we dropped Janssen a little bit further back, just to give us a little bit better structure on the ball, and just to draw Edmonton a little bit out. We knew they obviously had to come in and try and score some goals, and that was a way of trying to draw them a little bit further out and increase the space between the lines, which I think occurred.
I just want to ask you about Sissoko because we all saw him with Halifax as a central midfielder, but you got him as a fullback. Just when did you always know that was kind of the role you wanted for him, and what have you seen from him?
Some things happen by necessity, Charlie. Sissoko's a great midfielder. He's turning into a pretty good right back. We once had a player here, I think that everyone loved and I loved, called Eliman Cisse, who was an excellent midfielder and was a fantastic right back. With Abu, he's just doing a great job for the team. And, sometimes it's difficult. You come in and you want to play in your natural position, which he does a great job. But then we also see in the second half, he's done a great job of inverting in areas and coming inside. And it's something that I've asked from him in certain periods of the game, to come inside and have that feeling of being more of the midfielder. But today, like last week, we're down a few defenders in the lineup. But he's done excellent from game number one against Cruz Azul to this one. And for a player like him, it's, you can play in that one position in this league. I think it's important. The one thing I've learned over the years, you got to be able to play a few different roles, and we've found a new role for him when required.
Thanks, Bob.
Probably just another one on an individual player. Dom Samuel was excellent tonight. What did you see of him, and can you just give us a bit of an update because he came up? How serious was that?
Yeah, from an injury front, I think it was a little bit of a knock, and at that point, you always want to take precaution, especially with having only a couple of them out there, defenders. But yeah, today we saw a very good Dom Samuel, which is very good in his individual defending assignments, and that's what he's well known for in his years in the league. And then just doing all the simple things right, and that's one thing we worked a lot on this week. Not only the defensive responsibilities, but we knew we were going to be on the ball, or we thought we were going to be on the ball a little bit more, and we were, and just how we were making those decisions. And sometimes it's taking that moment of pause to see what's going to occur in front of you as opposed to rushing things. And I thought he did a very good job with that today.
just to follow up on your substitutes had a real impact on the game. Is that something that you noticed, and do you expect more of that this season with the gaps between games that they can come on right away and make a difference?
Yeah, of course. I think the one thing we want to see, and as guys get more healthy, is that deep bench, that we're able to change things, not only in personnel, but in what those players give us. We saw Danko come in. I thought he was excellent. He gave us that verticality that maybe we're missing with guys buzzing into the half spaces, and that's important to have in those situations. So I think, that's always something you want to see. You start with a game plan, but you always have to know how you can change that, not only internally within a half if you don't want to take a sub, but how you're going to change it with your sub. So we've always got an idea based on how the game is going on what we're going to need. So today we're very happy to see that as well, with the 3 points.
We'll now move to the Zoom portion. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. You have a lot of players who can take spot kicks, obviously. What was the thing behind having Terran take it today, and how that confidence boost kind of went into the man of match performance?
I think when you look at the penalties, it's something that we train regularly throughout the week, and the guys always have their time to do things. So we've always got a group of 3 or 4 guys that are going to step up. The list goes up on the wall before the game, and that's the list. If you're number 1 on that list, you're the guy that's stepping up, unless for some reason you defer. So that's all those assignments are taken care of. Something we watch during the week. He's pretty good at them, so we put him to the spot now. Keeper went the right way, but a good goal scorer will make sure he takes care of his business even on the second motion.
Yeah, it felt good. It's always nice to score goals, but for me and I think the rest of the guys, it was nice to get 3 points today.
Yeah, the team really started fast and maintained that throughout the match without getting complacent. Is that the message before the match? Just play the full 90?
Yeah, we knew today was an important game for us. Haven't gotten 3 points yet out of our first 2 matches. So we wanted to come out strong today, come out on the front foot, and I think we showed that with our performance.
And it's Edmonton prides itself on the defense and on their shape. And do you feel like that first goal really just kind of opened things up?
Yeah, I think it just calmed everyone down a bit. I'm not sure what minute the goal came in, but it took a bit of time. I think once we finally got that goal, we kind of settled into things and just played our game.
You're playing more centrally today. I know you're probably happy with whether you're out well wide or in the middle, but what's kind of different about the role today, and are there parts of that you like more?
Just comfort. That's the biggest thing. I think that's my most comfortable role, the role that I like playing. So it was good to finally try it out.
And it's the third goal is what I want to ask about. Like, what point did you kind of see that the cross was going to come in and make the choice to make that run?
Yeah, well, as a striker, you're supposed to make first post runs. So I did that, and the defender actually got a touch on it, but because I made that run, I was able to get my knee on it and went in the back of the net.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.